Bygone burdens, mere echoes of the spring. But where have we come, and where shall we end? This is a tutorial for Into the Unknown from Over the Garden Wall. It's a piano tutorial, and I tried to get it as close to the original as possible. If you haven't checked out my cover already, go do that, because that'll show you kind of the end result. In the description you can download the audio for my cover as well as audio for just the piano version. What I'm reading is what's going to be in the top half of this video, and it's just letter names separated into left hand and right hand and separated into the different parts of the songs, like 4 to 5 measure chunks of the song. I've got printable versions of them as well. If you want to download those, they're in the description. This will be the first half of the song divided into 6 parts. The intro and then body part 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And without further ado, I think I'll get into the intro. This is what the introduction sounds like slowed down. The first measure, there's no left hand, so it's just right hand doing. And then when you hit this G sharp up here with the right hand, the left hand plays this G sharp, so 2 octaves down. If this is middle C, this is the G sharp. And they play them simultaneously. And then you play these 2 E naturals simultaneously as well. Now the third measure, the left hand is going to play this chord, C natural, D sharp, G sharp. And that's all in the first beat, while the right hand plays G sharp. And then the fourth measure, the left hand will be playing C sharp, E, G sharp as a chord. And the right hand plays C sharp. And sometimes I like to roll the chord, and then C sharp at the top. So again, up to speed, the introduction sounds like this. Alright, here's part 1 of the body slowed down. And again, I'll separate that into right hand and left hand. First the right hand. Right hand plays C sharp, E, and G sharp at the same time, a chord. Chord, G sharp, G sharp. And then measure 2 is another chord. The chord is B, D sharp, and G. Rest, G sharp. And then the third measure goes E and G sharp, F sharp, F sharp, and then the fourth measure is just 1 F sharp. So right hand all the way through sounds like this. Now integrated with the left hand. The left hand, when the right hand is playing the first chord here, the left hand is going to play octave C sharps. And then on the second note, the left hand will play an E. So the first measure sounds like this. Now the second measure, when the right hand plays this chord, the B, D sharp, G sharp, the left hand will play a B, and then a G sharp, and then this G sharp up here. Third measure, you play an A in the left hand while the right hand plays the E and the G sharp. This is F sharp, A, and then F sharp. So the beginning sounds like this altogether. And that's also when the singing begins. I'm not going to sing through this entire tutorial, but the singing does begin right there on this chord. Led through the mist by the milk
Something along those lines. Part 2 of the body, I think, is probably the most difficult to get the hang of because it's got a lot of rolling chords. Very slowed down, it sounds like this. And that might be daunting, but it's really just one note at a time for a lot of that, and once you practice it enough, it's not really that hard at all. I'll show you the first 2 measures one hand at a time, but because the rolling chords are together, I'll just show you the hands together. Beginning though, right hand goes like this. C sharp and E together, then G sharp, then the octave down G sharp, and C sharp. And then you play C natural and D sharp. So it goes from a C sharp to C natural and D sharp, E natural, G sharp, C, D sharp. And the pattern sounds like this. And then the third measure begins with a G sharp and a C sharp. Now, integrating the left hand, on that first chord when you've got a C sharp and an E natural, you've got in the left hand you have C natural and C sharp and G sharp. Altogether, all 4 notes sound like this. Then when you play the G sharp in the right hand, you play an E in the left hand. Now for the second measure, when you play C and D sharp, you play an F sharp in the left hand. And then you play D sharp and E natural simultaneously, and it sounds really weird. It sounds really weird out of context of the song, but in the flow it totally works. So you're playing, and the roll starts with a C sharp down here. So the first 2 measures sound like this. And then this is the rolling of the chord, and the chord goes, when you play the C sharp and the G sharp here, you play C sharp in the bottom and then C sharp, E, G sharp, C, E, C sharp. So that measure sounds like this. And you skip over this G sharp. You don't play this G sharp at all after, in the chord. You don't play this G sharp, so it's... And then the next measure starts with C natural in the right hand and G sharp in the left hand. Then D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, C natural, G sharp. So part 2 altogether sounds like this. Part 3 sounds pretty similar to part 1, especially in the beginning, but then around the middle it branches off. Slowed down, it sounds like this. Alright, I almost missed that chord in the middle. Yeah, so split right hand and left hand goes like this. The beginning is very similar. It has C sharp, E, G sharp, rest, G sharp, then this same chord, B, D sharp, G sharp, rest, G sharp. And then this is where it branches off. You play octave C sharps, and then with the top fingers you're playing C sharp, C, C sharp, D. And with the thumb on the last 2 notes you play E natural. So it sounds like this. And then you play C natural and G sharp. Alright, so right hand on its own altogether sounds like this. left hand, again, also starts pretty similar to part 1, where you have octave C sharps in the bottom, while you're playing C sharp, E, G sharp in the right hand. You got C sharps, E natural, G sharps, play them simultaneously. And then you have the B in the left hand when you play this chord. B, D sharp, G sharp, G sharp, G. Now when you play the octave C's up in the right hand, you play octave A's in the left hand, and octave C sharps and octave A's. Now when you play the C and the G sharp, you are playing a D sharp and a G sharp in the left hand. So you play this chord, and then G sharp, G sharp. Altogether it sounds like this. Part 4 I think is one of the easier parts of this whole first half of the song, and it goes like this. Very simple. Right hand is playing this. A, C sharp, E, G sharp, C sharp, E, G, C sharp, E, and then D and G sharp simultaneously. And the right hand, or in the left hand, is playing the same thing as the pinky in the right hand is playing. So you've got A naturals at the same time, G sharps at the same time, G naturals at the same time, and then again G sharps at the same time. Part 5 is the final part of this first half of the song, and it's also pretty simple. It sounds like this. Now the right hand is playing C sharp and F sharp, then F sharp, and then C and E, or C sharp and E, then E. Now D natural and F sharp in the third measure, F sharp, and then G sharp, C, A sharp with the other hand, and C natural, and that's the end of part 5 for the right hand. The left hand just plays one note at a time. When you play the C sharp and the F sharp, the left hand plays an A. Then the left hand plays G sharp. Then the left hand plays F sharp, like up here, F sharp, and then back to G sharp, A sharp, and that's the end of part 1. Once you've finished all this, once you figured it all out, go check out part 2. Part 2 is a little bit harder, and like I said, I've got these sheets for download, and I've got a piano-only audio of this to download. So, hope it all works out for you. Tell me what you think in the description, and until the next video, thank you.